so too.
Whatever you're doing now, and she's like, why don't you use the bathtub? And I'm like, I'm afraid I'm not gonna be able to get in it.
Right.
I should be able to get out because my muscles will be good,
Right.
but I don't think I can get down in the tub.
Yeah. Yep. It may be worth, there's a place in Southfield that's like a sauna place where you can like sit in a, no, that's not for you.
That's public.
No, got it. Whatever you need.
You don't know what people do.
That's true.
Get these older people and they pee in it as soon as they get in.
Yeah, that's true.
What? It's like people, we had a whole family come in from the Great Wolf Lodge, they all went and had MLK.
That's my nightmare. No, I would never go to a water park.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'll come in, I'm looking at the kid, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, no.
And you can tell when it's pink eye because it's all this shininess in their eyes.
You saw that, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think it was, I bet it was, it's that salt truck, see it? That truck.
Oh, okay, because I'm like.
Good eyeballs, Jan.
Oh, it doesn't look like
Good
that.
eyeballs. Woo.
Hi. Hi, hi. No soup for you.
But there is something for you.
Yay. I'm okay. How are you doing? All right.
Yeah.
So, what had occurred, some disturbing news about our security insurance.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, I'm going to put a kid card on his door.
Bless. This winter is making me think I need two things, which are a remote start for my car and like an actual snowblower. I know, man. I have been going out and getting in my car, turning it on, and then shoveling. It's so cold. Oh, that sounds great. The thing is, like, so Subaru, for whatever reason, during the pandemic, they stopped putting those in. Yeah. For missing sparks or something. Yeah. So now I just have like have it done by somebody else. Yeah. And I don't love it. No, because we have watched the Subaru. I have that. Heated seats. I'm sure they will. Oh, good. It is. Yes, that's maybe I will put myself over here. How are we sounding? Okay. I'm sure. There's the sound check. Sound check. Mom, can you hear me? She's so funny. Yes, she didn't. She's not going on the trip. Just my dad and I are going. Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Shabbat shalom, everybody. So happy. Thanks for making it out on this weird, snowy, kind of gross day. I'm so glad we're all together. This week has been another very challenging week in the world and in the Jewish community and in America. I know you all, like me, are seeing the news and feeling a lot of feelings of fear and shame and anger and all those things. And then, of course, there was the synagogue in Jackson, Mississippi, where my friend was the rabbi until like 6 months ago. And that incident brought up for me, the incident in Pittsburgh, which is where my family is. So, but I think the hardest part about all of that is like, it's feeling a little bit, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little bit helpless. I'm feeling like there's so much happening and it's feeling overwhelming, like what is the right thing to do and how do we even start? And then the layer of anti-Semitism on top of it, which feels scary. So I just want to name that and say, like, as we celebrate Shabbat, this is something we can do. This is something we do together to build community. If you're online, you're a part of our community. If you're here in person, we are building this moment to support one another, to be able to put aid in the right places, to remember why our Judaism is important to us and why we do this, why we come here. As I looked at the pictures in Jackson, I really felt that feeling of like, the next day that they had their Sunday school, right? So the synagogue, like the arsonist was in there and the Torah's burned and everything, and they had Sunday school the next day at a museum nearby. And to me, that's like the bit that I'm holding on to, because the hope that's there and the reality that they are not going to let something stop them from educating our next generation and having a joyful Jewish experience in the midst of tragedy, that's something that I'm holding on to. So I hope that brings you a little hope the way that it brings me a little hope. Today is our Shabbat Tzedek, our Shabbat celebrating Martin Luther King weekend. I'm going to add in some extra readings and some other things that I think are important. But on Sunday, we're going to be gathering as a community to do some family day learning and other things for Yom Tzedek. So I'm going to start with this. Human progress comes through the tireless efforts and the persistent work of dedicated individuals who are willing to be co-workers with God. And without this hard work, time itself becomes an ally of the insurgent and primitive forces of social stagnation and irrational emotionalism. We must help time, and we must realize that the time is always right to do right. That's an address from Dr. King to the URJ, the Union for Reformed Judaism's biennial banquet in 1963. Human progress comes through tireless efforts and persistent work of dedicated individuals who are willing to be co-workers with God. So we're carrying all that, and I know that we're carrying it as we go into this Shabbat. I'm going to invite you to just be here as much as you can, be present with us, feel the joy and the hearts together, and we can hold that all for each other. We're going to light Shabbat candles together, bring some light into the world. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. To continue welcoming Shabbat with Lecha Dodi, which you will find on page 14. Lecha dodi likakala penei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likakala penei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Ishmianu el hameyuchad. Adonai echad. Ushmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet, v'litchila, lecha dodi, likakala, penei Shabbat, lekavela, lecha dodi, likakala, penei Shabbat, nekavela, likrat Shabbat, lechu v'necha, ki hi mekor haberacha mirosh mikadem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tfila lecha dodi likakala penei Shabbat nekavela lecha dodi likakala penei Shabbat nekavela hitoreri kiva orech kumi uri shir daberi kevod Adonai alayech nigla lecha dodi likakala penei Shabbat nekavela lecha dodi likakala penei Shabbat nekavela. We rise as we welcome the Shabbat bride, the presence into our midst. Face the door. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam v'simcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi, likakala, penei Shabbat, nekavela, lecha dodi, likakala, penei Shabbat, nekavela, yai lai lai lai, 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 yai lai lai lai. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. We're going to continue with Baruch Hu, which you will find on page 22. I invite you all to rise. Oh, it's not on page 22, though. It's on page 18, but we are still going to stand up. It's fine. It's in page 22 in the other book, I think. It's okay. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. And our blessing gives us strength and makes our visions clear. And our blessing gives us peace and the courage to dare. As we bless the source of life, so we are blessed. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. one must repeat from time to time, the world was created for my sake. Never say, what do I care about this or that? Do your part to add something new, to bring forth something that is needed, and to leave the world a little better because you are here briefly. We're going to continue with Ahavat Olam, which you'll find at the bottom of page 20. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadeta, Otanu lemadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, Ukumenu nasiach bechukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, U'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla, ve'ahavadcha tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael. Judaism gave mankind its first civil rights program. It was expressed in the Shema, the watchword of the Jewish faith. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. As God is one, people are one, for each is equally created in the image of God. We're going to meditate on that oneness. Shema is on page 22. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam ve'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha v'derech uveshachbecha uvekumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך, bottom 24, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. Ani Adonai Elohechem. So I know I've been sharing a lot this evening of writing that is not in our Siddur. So I know some people are visual learners and some people are auditory learners and some people need both. So forgive me for this. But I wanted to do this because, first of all, the Religious Rituals Committee, we're sort of starting to explore editing our Siddur a little bit and making it fit for where we are in our congregational life now, which is something I know Arnie used to do every 5 years or so. So we've started working on that project, and I'm really grateful to have partners on it because it's hard, and so we'll be able to work together. And the other thing is that some of these readings come from the Mishkan Tefillah or from other places that feel like they are relevant to this moment, and that's what I really needed. That's what I needed from Shabbat tonight. So I hope you'll forgive me, and if you want copies of them afterwards, I have them all. So, standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. There is a better place, a promised land. And the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there is no way to get from here to there except for joining hands and marching together. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'etar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Malachutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei ayam livnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'eli anu ve'amru, Ze'eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Yai dai dai yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai 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 dai. As we continue with Hashkivenu, if you're not familiar with our prayer book, we do sort of the Hebrew at the top of page 26 and the English at the bottom of page 27. One of the things we need to think about what editing would look like. This prayer, which is a prayer for peace, is a prayer that's said every evening before you go to sleep. And it's a prayer for bringing about a shelter of peace, a Sukkot Shalom. And I think in this moment, that is a prayer I'm praying for this country and for all of the people who are unable to leave their homes, who are afraid to walk out the door. I'm praying for that for all of the people throughout the world who are in war zones, in places where they don't have control, in places where they don't know what it's going to look like when they wake up. And I'm praying for it for all of us who are seeing this information, those of us who care about the world, who want to make it a better place, a shield of protection, a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Oh, guide my steps and help me find my way. I need your shelter now. So rock me in your arms and guide my steps and help me make this day a song of praise to you. So rock me in your arms and guide my steps. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. In the middle of page 29. Will you pray with me? Help me perfect my ways of loving and caring. Inspire me to make myself whole so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and peace. We're going to rise and turn together to page 51. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol atah Rav Lehoshia, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishaynei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melech, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim yechol yom yahalucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. I invite you all to continue praying. You can be seated, you can stand, you can use the words on the page or the prayers of your heart, and we'll join back together in a few moments. son, imre fi, ve'yon libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, v'goali, v'goali. So as I was thinking about what I was going to say this Shabbat, I had a really hard time. I mean, like we spoke about at the beginning of the service, this week has been a very challenging week, both internally within the Jewish community and in this country. On the news, we just turn it on and we're just faced with it. And I was reminded about the idea of collective liberation. The idea that our freedom and our safety is bound up with the freedom and safety of all of the people, like in the world, right? There is no freedom and safety for one group of people without the freedom and safety for all people. And, on Martin Luther King weekend, people love to talk about Dr. Heschel. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel he was an amazing rabbi who marched with Dr. King at Selma. You've seen the picture of him and Dr. King in the Torah, and he was the person who said, "It felt like my feet were praying." That was some time ago, my friends, several years. And as much as I respect and admire Dr. Heschel, Rabbi Heschel, not only for his, civil rights work, but also for his philosophical work and his theology, which, if you've ever read The Sabbath, which is the tiniest, densest book ever written, it's an incredibly beautiful piece of writing, and all of his thoughts about Judaism and the way that he engages with it, I think, is so powerful. I also deeply believe that we cannot rest on our laurels in this moment. We cannot rest on the idea that, oh, look who we came from. This is who we are, right? I think it's important for us to engage with the reality that is who we come from, but it isn't enough to define who we are in this moment. And then when this fire happened in Jackson at Beth Israel, the story of this temple is unbelievable, right? I'm sure you saw, or maybe you didn't, but this same place in this same location was firebombed in 1967 because of their involvement in the civil rights movement. And then 2 months later, the rabbi's house itself also, right? And then here we are many years later, far away from 50 years from that experience, and we're looking at it. The approach is different, but the people are the same. The white supremacy is the same. The approach is the same. The hatred, it has changed forms, but it's the same ultimately. And so I go back to the reality that Dr. King, in his letters and in his private correspondence with rabbis all over the country, not only was he urging people to do something and say something, but also he constantly talked about the fact that people, it could not be one or the other. People are tied together. That the system, the way in which we are brought up to think, oh, if I have it, then they don't have it, or if they have it, I don't have it, right? That rich folks that are pitting poor folks against each other to make sure to hold up the system. All of these things, I mean, some of Dr. King's letters live in the archives, in the American Jewish archives, because they were between him and various rabbis. And of course, the other thing that I asked myself today was like, what kind of words could I share in the spirit of Dr. King, knowing that I could never preach like Dr. King, because he was a prolific scholar and preacher, right? So the thing about Dr. King that I find so interesting is that so much of what he talked about, so much of what he quoted was all from Torah, which he would have called maybe the Old Testament or maybe the Hebrew Bible. But he was a prolific scholar of Torah. So it's another reminder that it takes all of us to work towards something. And then, of course, you all know my big thing is, what do I do when I'm frozen, when I feel overwhelmed, when there's so much going on that I simply don't know what to do first? And that state of freeze is a part of this plan to make sure that we don't do anything and we sort of sit passively. So what's my answer, friends? One small thing. One small thing. Is it getting groceries for a neighbor who can't leave their home? Is it building up the collective by giving some amount of money to help people who need lawyers? Is it coming to Shir Tikva and helping us, clean up the grounds, which don't do, and it's going to be so cold this weekend, but in the future maybe. Is it showing up and bringing soup for people to warm up their bellies? Is it visiting somebody or calling somebody who's sick? Building our community and then looking outside of it and seeing what skills do I have and how can I apply them in a way that feels like I'm doing something, but I don't have to do everything. Right? I'm not in charge of everything. I don't have control over everything that happens. I can do what I can do. And some weeks it looks like different, right? Some weeks it's different. Some weeks we're carrying other stuff. But a reminder that our collective experience, our collective liberation is the only way forward. And that might mean that we have to be in a room with people with whom we really disagree. But if we are all working towards the same goal of that liberation, perhaps we can hold our discomfort and work together. Reminds me of Rabbi Tarfon. It's one of my favorite rabbis. I love to quote him. He said, "We are not required to finish the work, nor are we free to desist from it." We don't have to fix everything. That's not our responsibility. But we can't give up. One small thing, my friends. Showing up, telling somebody you see them, making a phone call, whatever it is that you need to do, one small thing, so that we too can feel like our feet are praying. Shabbat shalom, everybody. We're going to pause now for a moment to think about all the people in our lives and in our world who are in need of healing of body and mind and spirit. This evening we are thinking of so many papers. Chelsea Berg and Baby Berg, Robert Walker, Daniel Zendel, Mary Chezik, Sharon Curran and Ted Golden, Joel Ben Moshe, Cindy Silverman, and Shani Lewins, Wendy Demp, Marla Scaife, Dorothy Halprin, and I invite any of you who are thinking of somebody, if you'd like to either rise or raise your hand and share those names aloud with our community, I'll invite you to do that. And if you're at home, I invite you to say those names aloud or in the chat.
Family of Dee Giannetti, Joyce and Sander, Kyle Klein, Catherine Duncan, Nora Raymond, Julie Palmer, and Sophie Marcus.
Thank you.
Chelsea and Sue, and Dan and Steve.
Yeah, thank you. Let's do.
Janet Kahn, Mary Alice Dooley, and all the people recovering from having been shot by ICE.
Thank you, Ellen. Yona bat Ilana v'chaim. Mishaberach is on page 67. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Before we close this evening, I'd like to go to page 73 together. This is a prayer for our country that feels pretty apropos for this moment, if you'll pray with me. What do I desire for my country? How do I vision the land I love? Let it be a land where knowledge is free, where the mind is without fear, and people hold their heads high, where words come out from the depth of truth, where the world was not broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where tireless striving stretches his arm towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way in the dreamy desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom. Let my country awake. Stephanie, would you share a few announcements with us this evening? Very few announcements. Yeah, if you don't mind, that way people on the stream can hear you if you speak into the microphone. Thank you.
Hello. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees and our members, I'd like to extend a special welcome to all of our congregants and anyone visiting us this evening. Saturday, January 17th, tomorrow, the membership committee is hosting a game night at 6 p.m. You can still join in if you want to. I believe there's a QR code that was being updated.
It is fixed now.
It's fixed now, so if you still want to
But
register
come play games.
officially-
It's gonna be
Yes,
fun.
It will be very fun. Nice turnout. Sunday, January 25th at 9:30 a.m. There's a Gan Tikva for little ones 0 to 3 years, correct? Okay. And then that same day, 3 p.m. is a CST book club on Zoom. The website has more information on that. And Friday, January 30th is the Shabbat for grades 5th and 6th grades, and the service is at 6:15 p.m., just like tonight. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Sure.
Tashkach. Thank you for being our host trustee, and thank you to Jan for the lovely soup. If you didn't get any on the way in, you could take some on the way out and warm it up. It'll be delicious. Anything Jan makes is delicious. That's just my personal experience. We're going to conclude with Aleinu, which you'll find on page 74. Do you want to help me open the ark? Yeah. Marielle, Annabella, you want to come too? No, definitely not. You don't have to say any words. Just come open. I need your strong arms. Please, please. Thank you so much. I'm going to invite you all to rise. Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, one side, other side. Ready? Here we go. A pull. Perfect. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'ted gedula le'yotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goy ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kachem, ve'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, ve'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Livnei Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo, U'shemo echad. Okay, close, please. Push. There we go. Just keep going a little more. Yeah, perfect. Excellent. To them we say, Yasher Koach. Thank you. May you continue to be strong. Koach. Thank you for letting me recruit you. I appreciate it. I'll invite you to be seated just for a moment. In just a second, we will say the words of Kaddish, the Kaddish Yatom. These words, which have been said by people for centuries, since people were reading and writing in Aramaic, and these words are used to separate parts of the service, to direct us to what's happening next, and for a moment where we offer praise during a time of mourning. The interesting thing about the Kaddish Yatom is that the Mourner's Kaddish is that there are no words about death at all. It's only words of praise, reminding us that even in times when we are in deep mourning, we can find gratitude for having had a person in our lives, or perhaps for having our community that holds us up. This week, we are in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Ronald Edwards, father of Kyle Edwards, father-in-law of Laura, and grandfather of Ruby and Eamon and Dawson. We are in a period of Shloshim also for Ewan Chisholm, son of Sarah and Chris, and brother of Anna and Callum, nephew of Carrie and Josh, and cousin of Evie. And for my uncle, Michael Tutt, my dad's uncle, father of Andrew and Jean, beloved husband of Carol. This week we are also recalling the Yahrzeiting, the anniversary of the deaths of Stanley Haller, our dear friend and husband of Mary, and father of Sarah, and father-in-law of Kim, and grandfather of Maya, true jokester. And Martin Bernstein, husband of Martha, our beloved friend and congregant here for many years. We're also thinking of Sharon Lynn Rockland, mother of Marla Rockland, who I know is joining us online. And Edward Solomon, brother of Deborah Gibbs. Pamela Sutherland Averbach, mother of Pauline Averbach. And Joan Jacoby Falk Isaacson, mother of Herbert Falk. And Leon Brewer, father of Matt Brewer. And Larry Gross, brother of Ken Gross. And William B. Comey, dear brother of Carolyn Comey. And Arthur Silverstein, father of Michael Silverstein. If there's anybody else that you're remembering this evening whose name you'd like to share with our community, I invite you to do that.
Renee Nicole Good, murdered by the U.S. government on the streets of Minneapolis.
Thank you, Ellen. We rise and join together. The Kaddish Tome is on page 78. Yitgadal v'kadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushvechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, huyaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace bring peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved here and everywhere, to which we say, amen. We are going to conclude this evening the way that we concluded last week. Olam chesed yibaneh. I will build this world from love. Feels like the right. But chesed isn't just love, it's about righteousness and about justice and about freedom. So the words are on page 75. You can be seated if you'd like. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, dai, yadadai, dai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. I will build this world from love, yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. And you will build this world from love, yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. And if we build this world from love, yadadai, yadadai, then God will build this world from love, yadadai, yadadai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, yadadai. May this Shabbat bring a more just and peaceful world. May it be a time where we can rest, where we can put down the news for a moment and just be with our people. May we find a way to add a little extra blessing into somebody else's life and receive the blessings that we are given as well. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. L'chaim, everybody. A snowy appropriate, designed by Han and colored in by 1 and 2, or just the whole thing was Han? No. So first and second grade makes our challah covers every week. This is I love to debut a new design. This one's so cute. Snow and snowman with 2 different hat changes. I like that. You could either wear a top hat or A beanie. Perfect. That's excellent. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Thank you all for joining us. Shabbat shalom, everybody. And we'll put this out there with the soup if you want to grab a little extra bite. Good job.